The more students think about studying, the more they think about what they need to do, assignments, tests, or deadlines. But they lose sight of one consideration that they often overlook: where they decide to study. Studying students at Texas Tech typically can find quiet library floors, busy student spaces, and off-campus coffee shops. Each of those environments is a different experience, and those experiences can really affect how productive you are, how focused you are, and how stressed out you are. This project examines how the study spaces in Lubbock influence students' approach to the day-to-day operations of work in an academic setting. Texas Tech Library probably has one of the most organized study environments on campus. During the evening, particularly in the midst of midterms or finals week, the upper floors of the library are entirely quiet. You hear mostly keyboards, pages turning, and the little movement of chairs. Most students operate on their own, usually through headphones and laptops, engaged in their studies. The type of environment was created for concentration. It allows focus over long periods of experience without any distractions, making it easier to concentrate longer and get through work quicker. The physical environment: one desk per person, comfortable seating, a divided seating layout, a quiet spot for reading, an academic mind space, which is also used to instill a scholarly mindset. But that same environment can come with pressure too. It is so much pressure to stay silent and productive that it is quite stressful at times. In a group of such student-focused individuals, it can be overwhelming to keep pace. The library can aid focus for some students, but it can cause them stress. It can increase anxiety at the same time, depending on the student situation. In the student union
Problem
building,
finding
the
a place to
contrast is
study
that it
or
is
relax
a
and
much more
unwind.
social
There are
learning
countless
and adaptable
couches,
setting
tables,
for
and
study.
chairs scattered
And
throughout.
at any point
It just
during
gives
the
people
day,
an
there's
opportunity to come
background
here.
noise.
They can
Problem finding
at
a
all
place to
times,
study or
discussion,
relax and
activity,
unwind. There are
movement within the
countless
space.
couches,
And
tables, and
students may
chairs
sit
scattered
together
throughout.
in groups,
It just gives people an
working
opportunity to
together
come
and
here.
talking,
They can
taking
Problem
breaks
finding a
from
place
one
to
task
study
to
or
another.
relax and unwind.
This kind
There
of
are
setting can
countless
be a barrier
couches,
to
tables,
concentration
and
for
chairs
extended
scattered
periods
throughout.
of time.
It just gives people an
Distractions
opportunity to come
abound,
here.
and it's
They can
easier to
Problem
get
finding a
lost in
place to
time.
study or relax and
But
unwind.
the
There are
student union
countless
also presents
couches,
advantages
tables,
that the
and
library
chairs
doesn't
scattered
have.
throughout.
It
The
just gives
social
people an
environment may
opportunity to come
relieve
here.
stress
They
and
can
lessen how
Problem finding
isolating
a place to
studying can
study
feel.
or relax
The
and
ability
unwind.
to
There
be
are
around
countless
other people,
couches,
even if
tables,
they are
and
not
chairs
directly
scattered
helped with your
throughout.
schoolwork,
It
can
just gives
provide
people an
motivation
opportunity to
and
come here.
energy.
They can
Problem finding a place to study
Students
or
in these
relax and
spaces, from
unwind.
what
There
I
are
can see,
countless
swing between
couches,
working
tables,
and
and
socializing
chairs
more
scattered throughout.
frequently.
It just gives people
Productivity
an
is different in
opportunity to
this
come here.
environment,
They can
less about deep focus and more about combining work and interaction. Lubbock off-campus coffee shops are another type of study habit that includes a quiet and social campus-centric environment. In contrast to the library's quiet and the student union's busyness, coffee shops offer a steady and consistent background soundscape. You have it for conversation, music, and movement, but they usually meld together rather than stand alone as distractions. That makes for a more comfortable and even atmosphere for most students, and it is less claustrophobic to them than the library, but also less chaotic than the student union building. The environment is often a bit more chill, so I can concentrate instead of freaking out. Studying in a coffee shop, I learned the hard way that it's easier to concentrate on something longer. Background noises have an energizing effect without being too distracting to keep the energy levels high. Comparing these environments has the effect of suggesting that productivity is not only the space, but for which space a student's personal preference lies. With deep focus and structure from the library, it can also amplify pressure and stressful contexts. Socialization and flexibility are encouraged by the student union, but it may lose focus a lot if you're not really engaged. Coffee shops are a blend of the two, a place where coffee offers comfort and concentration, but not for everyone. Each environment's conditions for studying are different, affecting not only how much work gets done, but how the student feels while doing the work. There is no one best place to study, though. The best place to study is down to the individual, how they concentrate, what pulls them, what keeps them motivated. Some students need only quiet to learn, others can't survive in the world while ignoring the sounds in their immediate environment. At Texas Tech, we have hundreds of different study spaces, and every space has its own pros and cons. But as a college student, you need to figure out what works for you. Analyzing how these spaces impact productivity and stress helps students to make more purposeful choices about where to study. Eventually, the right environment can greatly influence academic performance as well as general success.